Now, let's have some laughs. And I've got to say, the Saturday Night Live crew have been bringing the laughs lately, and their parody of the vice presidential debate had some golden moments. This is champagne comedy.
Governor Walz, you claimed you were in Hong Kong during the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre when you were home in Minnesota. Can you explain that?
So I think what happened is I went to Epcot. You can go around the whole world, and I had a couple in the Germany section, and I thought I went to China. Anyway, I'm a knucklehead.
And spare a thought for Kamala and Doug watching the debate at home.
Okay, he's out there. He's doing his thing, whatever that may be.
Come on, just relax. You know, you haven't had a night off in 3 months. Do you want to watch something less stressful, like the Menendez Brothers show?
I don't know, Dougie. I kind of wish I had picked Josh right now.
Oh, Josh Shapiro?
No, Josh. Cabernet.
Look, Tim will be fine. It's not like he's going to say something crazy.
I've become friends with school shooters.
You know what this skit needs is some Joe Biden, and Dana Carvey's Biden is very good indeed.
Why are they friends? Why are they vibing?
Hey, Mama, it's Joe Biden.
I can't talk right now. Tell him I'm not here.
No, like he's in the room.
Oh.
You're not here. I'll come back
No,
later.
no, Joe. Joe Biden, come in. Have a seat. It's nice and dry.
You've been watching this guy? Come on, Walz. What's wrong with that guy? He's crazy. Get your facts straight, Jack. You gotta hit him with a no joke. Here's the deal. Let me be clear. Anyway, guess what? And by the way,
Now, the real Kamala has been missing in action for most of the week as parts of the US were plunged into crisis in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, which has left more than 200 dead, many more missing, and parts of the country looking like a war zone. But the VP had other things on her mind, like doing a podcast with the Call Her Daddy team. Oh, you don't know who they are? Let me familiarise you with their work, and apologies in advance for the content here.
How do you work with the and the
Okay,
on
so
a man?
The it really depends on the guy. Like
It
some
does.
guys don't like it.
Yeah.
Some have and you can on them.
Yes.
Put them all. Like
Yeah.
some
Other
guys
are like,
yeah, whenever
Yeah.
you try to do it.
That's all we could play you. That's all we could play you because it was that filthy. That's who Kamala Harris wants to talk to, putting decency back in the White House, folks. Let's look at some of that chat. Mercifully, it wasn't as graphic as what we just played you. In fact, the whole thing seemed to be about, I don't know, the patriarchy and obsessions about abortion.
I want to take a moment,
Mm-hmm.
and can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision
I know what you're going to ask.
about a man's body? Let's just pause.
No.
Is there any law?
No. It's no.
Yeah, except the millions of men who've been drafted into war, forced to put their body on the line for their country. Did they forget about that? And plenty more lefties with my next guest. Let's now hear from White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre claiming that FEMA funds desperately needed for Hurricane Helene victims right now weren't diverted to illegal immigrants at any point. She categorically denied that. She said it was categorically false, only it's not. Let's go to the tape.
It's just categorically false. It is not true. It is a false statement. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants. Funding is also available through FEMA's Emergency Food and Shelter Program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
Let's bring in Alex Stein, now host of Prime Time with Alex Stein on Blaze TV. Alex, tell me what is happening with efforts to help Hurricane Helene victims. Do we even know right now how many victims there are, how many have died, how many are still missing, how many are without vital resources?
Well, you know, all the numbers are very unclear. And Glenn Beck, one of the top broadcasters at the Blaze, he's actually on the ground right now helping people. And even FEMA is stopping Glenn Beck and his charity Mercury One from providing supplies for those that need it the most. So something weird is going on. You know, the conspiracy theorist in me thinks that they don't want them to be able to vote, but I don't know. I don't understand why FEMA spent all of our resources on helping illegal immigrants when American citizens lost everything they've owned their whole entire life, and they try to give them a $750 check. It just shows you how incompetent here we are in America.
I think it's absolutely disgraceful what's happening. And we saw it in Hawaii as well when we had those devastating fires. The response, the victims seem to be really forgotten, and it's happening again. It seems like they're diverted by other things rather than helping their citizens, which should be their number one priority of any administration. And FEMA itself, Alex, seems to be, like most government organisations, completely captured by far-left idiocy. Here is the Director of Training and Education talking about misgendering.
Being a migrant trans woman, there is an undocumented concern. There is also a concern of whether they would trust the places that are offering shelter that are faith-based because of the way they've been responded to in the past. Then if they are accepted, what would happen in terms of misgendering?
But apparently any criticism of FEMA pointing out the serious issues with the organisations is unacceptable. Let's hear from Chief Deanne Criswell here.
And when you have this dangerous rhetoric like you're hearing, it creates fear in our own employees. And we need to make sure we're getting help to the people who need it.
Surely they don't think FEMA is above criticism. I think it's absolutely fine for people to point out the shortcomings of this response because, like you said, you've got people on the ground there, volunteers, who seem to be doing more to help people than a government organisation who's tasked with the job of doing that.
Well, you know, FEMA did a terrible job in the response to Katrina not that long ago. I guess now it's about 15 years ago. But FEMA is just very incompetent. And this shows you that they're more worried about putting, tampons in the men's makeshift restrooms instead of actually helping these citizens that need it. So it's absolutely insane that DEI is being infected into our emergency response group in here in America. I mean, it's just absurd, Rita. I just cannot believe it. It's like a Saturday Night Live skit.